In a Virginia laboratory, researchers presented ordinary people with a painfully simple choice. Sit alone in an empty room for 15 minutes. No phone, no screens, no books, nothing to do but sit and think. Or you could press a button and shock yourself. With the exact electricity you had already stated in writing that you would pay money to avoid. Reason dictates anyone would wait out the clock. But 2 out of 3 men pressed the button anyway. So did 1 in 4 women. One participant shocked himself again and again, far more than anyone expected. What happened next surprised psychologists. They didn't shock themselves because they desired physical pain. They did it because they could not survive 15 minutes trapped with their own mind. And chances are, you wouldn't either. The average person checks their phone countless times a day. But that's not the scary part. The scary part is that most people never remember deciding to do it. Think about yesterday. Waiting in line at the grocery store or sitting at a red light. Before 10 seconds had passed, the phone was already in hand. Muscle memory takes over. We tell ourselves it's just to check messages for 1 minute. 45 minutes disappear. We don't even remember what we opened the app for in the first place. That wasn't a lack of discipline. Your brain wasn't searching for entertainment. It was searching for relief. It was desperately trying to avoid emotional discomfort. The real danger is what happens next. The moment boredom arrives, the mind does not power down. It turns inward. Most of us already know something in our lives isn't exactly right. Maybe it is a draining job, maintaining the illusion that everything is fine. Maybe it is a relationship that has quietly turned into 2 strangers living in the same house. Or maybe, deep down, you know you've become someone your younger self wouldn't recognize. But every single time that uncomfortable thought starts to surface, a screen is waiting. The morning commute is filled with a podcast. The dinner table has a video playing in the background. The gym session is drowned out by loud music. Sitting with unfiltered thoughts feels dangerously close to exposure. Constant stimulation is not pleasure. It is a psychological numbing agent. Close your eyes for a second. Seriously. Try remembering the last time you spent 15 minutes doing absolutely nothing. This is where everything changes. A man arrives home after work. His hand reaches for the door. Then it stops. Instead, he sits in the driver's seat, scrolling for 10 more minutes. Not because there's anything interesting on his phone. Because walking inside means being alone with his thoughts. While the conscious mind is distracted, the unfinished business is still there, rotting quietly in the background. The dread people outrun doesn't disappear just because they are distracted. Every notification, every new video delivers a tiny hit of anticipation. People can spend 3 hours consuming content, only to end the night feeling entirely depleted. Because none of it required actual thought. Most people are starving for clarity, but they keep drowning it in distraction. Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. He commanded armies on collapsing frontiers and dealt with the crushing weight of absolute power. Yet he made time almost every single night to sit alone in a dimly lit tent with a blank page and interrogate himself. He fought to stay in command of his mind, analyzing his anger, his failures, his subtle drift away from reason. Night after night, he returned to his journal. Most people today fall asleep scrolling. He reflected in silence. Most people escape into noise. And that is exactly the problem. We tell ourselves we are just winding down, but really we fall asleep to a scream, because the silence is too loud. Here is the catch about the ancient philosophers. They did not view silence as an empty void to be filled. They viewed it as a mirror. Seneca recalled how his teacher, Sextius, would mentally walk back through his entire day after the house fell silent, reviewing every action, every emotional overreaction, asking himself without mercy where he surrendered to impulse. Epictetus, a man who spent years enslaved, a man who had everything stripped from him, including his basic freedom, argued that true suffering doesn't come from your reality. It comes from your automatic, unthinking reactions to it. Different men, different lives, the same conclusion. And that vital pause cannot be built while surrounded by distraction. It must be forged in stillness, deliberately, until it becomes an instinct. But how can anyone forge that pause when they cannot even stand in an elevator for 10 seconds without pulling out their phone? When a frustrating email arrives or a spouse says something sharp, there is no pause, just a reaction. Because the modern brain is systematically trained to instantly react to every single stimulus in its environment. When a phone vibrates, we look. When a feeling arises, we run. And that is the good news. Your mind learned this pattern, which means it can learn another. You do not need to command a Roman legion to build mental fortitude. You only need to stop running. It requires 3 deliberate habits, and none of these will feel comfortable. First, the empty commute. Once a day, take 1 drive, walk, or train ride, and leave it completely unfilled. No podcasts, no music, no phone calls. Just you and whatever your mind produces on its own. The first 3 minutes will feel agonizing. There will be an intense physical pull to reach for a pocket. Your brain will strongly resist the silence. Do not give in. That discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. That discomfort is the exact weakness finally being exposed. At first, you will hear noise. Eventually, you will hear yourself. Second, the nightly ledger. Right before bed, spend 5 minutes reviewing the day exactly the way Sextius did. Sit silently, honestly, with the phone in another room. Ask the hard questions. What was handled well today? Where did emotion take over instead of reason? Who received misplaced anger born from secret frustration? Audit your character, exactly the way an emperor audited his empire. No excuses, no audience, just the brutal truth delivered in the dark. You will stop repeating the same mistakes, because you finally stopped hiding them from yourself. Third, the device-free 20. Once a week, sit somewhere with no screen, no book, and no task for 20 full minutes. The mind will convince you this is wasting time. You will feel the urge to check the clock. Let your mind wander wherever it wants to go, including the dark and uncomfortable places, especially those places, because that is usually exactly where the avoided thought is patiently waiting. The fear of failure, the suppressed grief, the terrifying realization of wasted potential. But if you endure that silence, you won't just find the thoughts you were running from. You will find the clarity you have been looking for. None of this will feel productive while it is happening. That is precisely why almost no one does it. And it is precisely why the fraction of people who do end up thinking more clearly, acting more decisively, and living more intentionally than everyone else around them. The mind you refuse to sit with in silence is the exact same mind making every single decision in your life when it is loud. The researchers in that Virginia laboratory were not studying physical pain tolerance. They were uncovering a quiet crisis. We have engineered a society where you never have to be alone with yourself, but you pay for that convenience with your peace of mind. Tomorrow morning, nothing around you will change. Your phone will still buzz. The notifications will still arrive. The noise will still be there. The life you've been trying to build depends on conversations you've been avoiding. The only question is whether you will keep running from your own mind or finally spend 15 minutes meeting the person who has been waiting for you your entire life.